Hello, and welcome to some Dodge family history. This is where I present information and research on my ancestors who served in the military during the early 20th century. Today, I will be presenting on part of my great-grandpa Dodge's VA claims file. This presentation will look at the claim for benefits that he filed following his military service. During 1920 and 1921, my great-grandpa went through the process of applying for benefits and coverage for treatment for the Bureau of War Risk Insurance, which was a precursor to the VA. On August 18, 1920, my great-grandpa went to Dr. Victor B. Ayres, an Army doctor from Buena Vista, Colorado, for a physical examination. His physical examination found the following. My great-grandpa had 20/30 vision. He did wear glasses later in his life. He had normal hearing and normal blood pressure and pulse. His breathing indicated that he had bronchitis and that he had dental problems. In particular, cavities in several of his teeth and two molars that he stated were removed during his time in the Army. The physical examination also indicates that he contracted influenza in September and October of 1918 while en route to France. The claim number 497003 is stamped on the physical examination form and matches the C number on his VA index card. When I received my great-grandpa's claims file, I noticed something unusual, that there are two physical examinations dated August 18, 1920. The examination form on the right is for my great-grandpa, James Robert Dodge, and the examination form on the left is for an individual named Robert Dodge. The physical examination for my great-grandpa indicates all the health findings and issues previously mentioned. The physical examination for Robert Dodge, though, indicates many of the same things, but also indicates cardiac issues, which is something that my great-grandpa never claimed. In looking at the monthly rosters for Company F, 9th Infantry Regiment, there are two Dodges that served at the same time from November of 1918 until April of 1919. James Robert Dodge, my great-grandpa, and Robert L. Dodge, who served in the Army from September 1917 until October of 1919. This Robert L. Dodge went to France in April of 1918 and returned home in June of 1919. The physical examination for Robert Dodge lists a different claim number, 305573, while the physical examination for James Robert Dodge, my great-grandpa, has claim number 305573 crossed out, and the correct claim number 497003 stamped on the physical examination form. It is very likely that the person who transcribed the physical examination form mixed up these two people as they both served in the same company and regiment at the same time. On October 16, 1920, the Compensation and Insurance Claims Division requested additional information for James Robert Dodge from the Bureau of War Risk Insurance. On the left is the top part of that form requesting additional information, while on the right is the bottom part of that form. The top part of the form, on the left, indicates the alleged disability, soreness from chest, and bad teeth. The bottom part of the form, again on the right, lists all the identifying information for my great-grandfather. The back of the form, not shown, indicates that there was no record of disability and that there were no medical records found for James Robert Dodge during his military service. On November 12, 1920, my great-grandfather underwent a dental examination by Dr. Earl Harrington in Leadville, Colorado. The dental examination, shown here, indicates that one of his lower molars had been extracted, but he does not remember when that extraction took place. The dental examination indicated that several of his teeth needed treatment ranging from filling of cavities to root canals. The dental examination also indicates a total charge for dental treatment, which would have been $56. The dental examination and request for dental compensation were submitted to the United States Public Health Service. Along with his request, he submitted an application for person disabled in and discharged from service. This application was dated February 12, 1921, and contains a treasure trove of information regarding the veteran and his family. The application at the top right lists his claim number, 497003. Each page of this application was filled out by him and is in his own handwriting. This is the first page of the application. This first page contains the following information: his name and present address, his service number and name during military service, his date and place of birth. He lists the year of birth as 1893 as opposed to 1894, the date and place of his enlistment, the company and regiment that he served in, his reason for discharge, the nature and type of disability he was applying for, teeth and deafness in right ear, He states that the disabilities claimed began while he was in the service. However, he does not list a specific date when his disabilities began. He also states that he did not receive treatment at an Army or Navy hospital. This form also lists his occupation and income prior to military service. Before he joined, he worked as a farmhand, earning $35 a month until his date of induction. He also lists his employers prior to military service. He worked for Sid Burleson, a rancher in Buena Vista, for 5 months prior to his induction. He also worked for Colorado Midland Railroad out of Colorado Springs for 1.5 months. Colorado Midland Railroad ceased operations in 1918 following declaration of bankruptcy and abandonment of operations, which explains why he only worked there for such a short period of time. This page lists the following information. It lists his occupation and present employer. He was working as a farmhand, earning $35 a month, and working for Mrs. Marion Seeley. He lists the attending physician, Dr. V.B. Ayers of Buena Vista. He lists his general health and indicates that he was not confined to a bed and did not require constant nursing or constant attendance. He indicates that he was single and never married. He indicates that he had no children. And he indicates that his father, N.T. Dodge, or Nathaniel T. Dodge, was still alive and living in Buena Vista, Colorado. The next page of this form contains the following information. It continues to ask information about his parents. He indicates that his mother, Fanny H. Dodge, had passed away while he was in the service. He gives his father's age as 75 years old. He states that his father is dependent on him for financial support and that he provided $15 to $20 a month to him. He also states that his father did not own any property and did not have any income. This form also asks information on war risk insurance, when and where he applied for the insurance policy number, as well as the name and relationship of the beneficiary. He signed the form and dated it February 15, 1921, and it is also signed by 2 witnesses, both James Starr and Henry Muir, both of Buena Vista, Colorado. Verification of military service also needed to be provided with his application. He enclosed a copy of his honorable discharge from the Army and enlistment record. This was provided to the soldier following his discharge from military service. Many soldiers, including my great-grandpa, would have had this information recorded with their county recorder where they lived following their return home. This copy of his honorable discharge and enlistment was included with his VA claims file and was issued from the Chaffee County Recorder on February 11, 1921. The front page lists his name, service number, unit and organization he served with, the reason for discharge, his place of birth, age at time of enlistment, his occupation, physical description, and date and place of discharge. The back page of this form is his enlistment record and lists his name, his rank, his date and place of enlistment or induction, any prior military service, any military qualification or training, any battles, expeditions, or engagements he was involved with, whether he was wounded while in military service, knowledge of any vocation prior to his service, his marital status, his character, and any remarks. His enlistment record indicates that he was involved in the March to the Rhine and the Army of Occupation. Prior to his military service, he was a farmer. The remarks indicate that his service was honest and faithful, that there was no AWOL during his service, and that his character was excellent. While this document indicates that his military record is recorded in Chaffee County, Colorado, it doesn't say when it was recorded. However, it is very likely he had this record recorded after his return home in 1919. Following submission of his application and supporting documentation, he received bad news. On March 14, 1921, he was informed that he was not entitled to receive compensation for his dental treatment. The dental disability, he was told, was less than 10%, meaning that he was less than 10% disabled because of his dental ailment, and that his dental problems were not connected to his military service. On March 21, 1921, he was asked to provide additional medical evidence that his disability was related to his military service, including being asked to provide an affidavit from someone he had served with, indicating the circumstances in which his disability began, as well as providing additional medical evidence. On July 7, 1921, his claim was disallowed for failure to prosecute the claim. It appears that after March 1921, he realized that he would have to take care of his dental issues without any financial assistance and didn't pursue the matter any further. In 1924, the hospitalization of veterans for disability and treatment, regardless of origin of the disability, was first authorized. A letter was sent to my great-grandfather on December 27, 1924, informing him that he may be eligible for these services. This letter was sent to him at Buena Vista, Colorado. However, by this time, he had left Colorado and was living in Rawlins, Wyoming. By 1940, my great-grandpa was in need of medical treatment for several physical ailments and applied for hospital treatment on March 29, 1940. He was admitted to the VA hospital in Cheyenne, Wyoming on April 8, 1940. The medical record shown here indicates that he was diagnosed with tonsillitis and neuritis being a peripheral nerve inflammation. The medical record also lists all of his identifying information and indicates his current address at 405 Jackson Street in Rawlins, Wyoming. The scene number was originally not assigned, but the claim number was later located and penciled in on the medical record form here. Due to failure to prosecute his earlier claim, his claim file was closed and remained dormant until his hospitalization in 1940. Because his file had remained dormant, it had been transferred to the central office in Washington, D.C. His application for benefits in 1940 caused his claims file to be reopened and sent to the regional office in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Included in this part of his claims file is a statement regarding dependents of persons receiving hospital or other treatment. By this time, he was married and had 2 children, the youngest being 7 years old. His father had passed away in 1926, so he no longer had parents that were dependent on him for his support. The form lists his claim number, as well as identifying information from his military service. During April and May of 1940, he received medical treatment at the VA hospital in Cheyenne. Along with all the identifying information on his medical form, including date and place of birth, military service, and claim number, the medical record indicates that he was treated for muscle inflammation, tonsillitis, and had 3 additional teeth extracted. He was also diagnosed with farsightedness and would wear glasses later in his life. He spent a total of 49 days at the VA hospital and was discharged on May 27, 1940, after reaching the maximum hospital benefit allowed. Following this treatment, his health was improved, and he was able to continue providing for his family, including working for the Union Pacific Railroad and building a home for his family in Rawlins. We will go ahead and end this portion of the presentation on my great-grandpa's VA claims file here. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation and found it informative. His claim for benefits reveals a trove of additional information on his physical health, as well as provides insights into different parts of his life, including his life shortly before and after his military service. The next presentation will look at the benefits that his wife, my great-grandma, applied for following his death and that are part of the XC or deceased veterans claim. Thank you.